So today's video is the ultimate snaphook guide. I'm going to go into the firing range, show you guys how to properly utilize the snaphook, some tech related with it, and then I'm going to go through each and every map and show you my most used spots. And there's a lot to learn and different things that apply from different maps that you'll be able to use across every single map. And I think still the snaphook is extremely underutilized. So even if you're a PvE player or a PvP player, it's always worth being more efficient with your pathing. So sit back, enjoy. I want to thank you guys for the recent support in the videos. It's actually the most growth my channel's ever had. So truly thank you. It's been incredible. The streams have been awesome recently. And if you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you want to watch these raids live, make sure to follow my Twitch. Peace. So starting off, to actually find the Snaphook Blueprint, you're going to want to play Electromagnetic Storm on Dam. And then once you're in Electro Storm Dam, you're going to want to either go Pale Apartments or Ruby Residences. You can loot this entire area and then reset. These two places have the highest drop rates. You just want to loot every single cabinet in the kitchen. Now the actual craft for the Snaphook is in the utility station. It requires 2 power rods, 3 rope, and excess material. And then each time you use the Snaphook, it uses 2 durability. You can recycle it for a power rod and rope. Then you can repair it with both an excess material and a power rod. And then the actual craft for the power rod only requires 2 advanced electric components and then 2 arc circuitry. And then to get Exodus, you go to Celeste. She'll trade it for 55 seeds, or you go Stella Montis, assemble it. Now before you actually bring the Snaphook into raid, I'd recommend going to the practice range, put it on. This won't use any durability, and you'll be able to get some reps in. So there is a little bit of tech to master with the Snaphook before you bring it into game. The first one's going to be the descend tech. You'll see on the right side it says use Snaphook on the left click and then right to hold. So when you actually shoot the Snaphook, you can tap right click to release it. So what we're going to do is we're going to shoot it upwards as we're dropping. Then right by the bottom, we're going to actually tap right click just like that, and it'll break the snap and let you fall gracefully. And if you've watched any sweaty movement clip in this game, you probably know the safe pocket tech. So what you're going to do is you're going to pull out your Snaphook, you're going to shoot it onto a surface, dodge roll backwards, drag it into safe pocket. This allows you to land with your gun out. It also saves you from losing the Snaphook when you land. Now our next piece of tech is whenever you're using a Snaphook, you always want to shoot it at the top of a ledge instead of the bottom. By shooting at the top of the ledge, you ensure that you're going to get a short mantle. If you shoot at the bottom, there's a possibility that you get a long mantle, as well as holding S while you're going up. So I'm going to shoot it right at the edge, dodge roll backwards. This whole time I'm holding S, and then you get the short mantle at the top. One of the worst things you can do is go for an aggressive Snaphook play, and then right when you actually get in good positioning, you get the slow mantle. Now I mentioned this on stream a couple days ago. Not a lot of people in chat actually knew you could do this, but anytime you're mantling something and you want to drop off, you can actually just hit your crouch button instead of full committing to it or doing the jump backwards. So usually if you're mantling and then you hit spacebar, you can jump backwards. But if you just want to drop directly off, you can hit C or crouch. So let's say you end up using your Snaphook, see an enemy at the top of this last second, you're doing the mantle, you can just tap your C and then immediately drop off without doing the jump. Even in this case, if I were to do the jump backwards, I would have missed this and taken fall damage, but just by doing the quick drop by holding C, I can drop down off the mantle. So that concludes most of the tech with the Snaphook. Now I'm going to go through each map and show you some pretty useful spots. So our first spot is right outside a Dam control tower on the bottom near this AC unit. So you walk up to this AC unit, you're going to shoot your Snaphook up onto the wall here. Whenever your crosshair actually turns colored, just like that, it means you can shoot it. And we're going to do the double Snaphook here. We're going to shoot twice up into this window, and you can mantle it slowly. So this is the easiest way to get from the bottom of Dam all the way to the top of Dam. So this actually brings us to our next spot. When you look up, you're going to see all these lamps just like this. You can actually shoot your Snaphook onto this mantle, and this is a god spot to sit here. If you look down, you can actually see both the doorways. So you'll be able to see the bottom of this doorway. If you look down, you'll be able to see the bottom of the right doorway. So if you really want to rat, this is one of the most effective spots in this map. And you can actually do this on every single lamp up here. This one, these 2 lamps here, and then the other ones in the main lobby. Now the next spot this brings us to is right off the side here, off this platform. You're going to walk up to this AC unit right here, pull out your Snaphook. You're going to look up, jump backwards, shoot it down. We get a long Snaphook directly up top. Now this actually bypasses the need to hit this zipline here, the world zipline that you can activate down there. When you're up here, you're going to have a loot spot right here. This will drop ammo, grenades. This is guaranteed to spawn here every single raid, so if you ever run out of ammo and you're in a panic, you can get ammo right there. This will always drop heals too, so if you ever out of heals, hit the loot up real quickly, you can go up here. And then right at the end here is a grenade chest. You can drop wolf packs, impact grenade, smoke grenade. So once we're on this platform, there's actually another spot you can hit here. This is one of the best rotations you can do in the map. It's just going to dodge roll down here, or just roll like that. You can actually shoot your Snaphook directly onto the railing here. You can go from there down to here. Now if you actually go back down to this bottom area, you can shoot your Snaphook directly up here, grab the edge here, and then mantle. So if you guys are getting chased in this hallway, this is one of the best hiding spots you can be in the map. Literally no one would look up here. If anybody ever checked this angle, it would be guaranteed that they're cheating, unless they obviously saw you come up here. But in a pinch, if you guys need to escape, this is one of the best spots. You can actually drop down here, grab the ledge here without taking fall damage, and you'll be inside. Now moving on in the underground area, down to the loading bay in the bottom of the primary facility. There's another spawn here, directly under tower. Now if you want to get to the top, you can just shoot your Snaphook directly out here, dodge roll backwards, drag it back into your safe pocket. When When you're landing, you just mash dodge roll. You won't take any fall damage. And now that we're in the front of primary facility and the dam control tower, this is a pretty simple spot. Shoot your Snaphook up, wait till the crosshair turns colored again. Now I actually like to hold S while I'm ascending like that, just so you get a little bit more momentum. We're in the research and administration lobby. Another lamp like this, you can actually Snaphook onto that. Now in this entire room, you can actually jump on the couch here, get up on the ledge on this spot. It's a pretty devious spot. If you guys do end up playing this game, make sure you're not in these spots and not playing the map. Now if you want to bypass actually going up the elevator, use your Snaphook here. You want to shoot it right at the top of the railing like that. Dodge roll backwards, drag it. Now this actually bypasses the need to hit a mantle. So if you're trying to flank somebody that's on the elevator here, you don't want to be caught in a mantle animation, especially if they're watching it, especially if they get the audio cue of the Snaphook. And that is actually one of the best ways to counter somebody that's camping this. If you guys are playing duos and you want to bait your teammate when they go up the zip line and you hit a Snaphook flank, it's super useful. Now coming up the blue staircase, we're going to go to our left in here. Now I want you to pay attention to the top right of my screen here. If you're walking in this room, this is a spot you'd never check. We're going to want to go, you want to shoot your Snaphook directly up into this pipe corner. Once you're up here, this is one of the best hiding spots in case you're getting chased. Let's say you're playing solo trios. A whole trio pushes in. There's third parties going. You can't fight. You don't have heals. This is one of the best reset spots. You also have vision of a team that's pushing in from this side. This is like scrapyard spawn up the hill here. And once again, when you're walking through this door, this would never be a spot you check. It's most likely someone would come in here. There's usually a backpack spawn. They might check that. But the chances of somebody finding you up there are extremely low. So we're going to go down the blue staircase. We're in the long hall right here, just before the elevator to the top. One of the best rotations you can hit is actually jumping off the side here, falling, shooting your Snaphook, right at the end, hitting right click to break your fall, and you can mash your dodge roll button like that. So if you're ever getting chased down that, this is one of the best places, especially because you can force people down the elevator, or if they have a Snaphook, the likelihood of them messing this up is way higher, especially if you've practiced it. And I'll show a clip of one of the best chase sequences happening over here. Now, a spot that I almost never see utilized is right out here. Let's say you're getting chased down the elevator. You can just 180, shoot your Snaphook up, and then mantle here. I've almost never seen anybody play this ledge before. Now, they are going to be hearing that Snaphook sound cue. But as long as you have a team that's baiting, the amount of free damage you'd be able to do if a team walked out, they would never expect you to be up top. So our next spot is up the elevator, right outside here, just where we jumped off to Snaphook. And you're going to grab it, shoot it onto the security camera, hold spacebar to mantle. Now you'll be able to play the security camera on height, especially if your teammates are inside of here. You could bait them, wait until a team pushes down the pillars. You could be up here with a shotgun, and the amount of free damage you'd get would be insane. When you're walking around, it's very unlikely for anybody to have their camera centered that high. Unless they're looking up and their camera's down low, they wouldn't even see your feet here. They'd probably end up just running past you. Then back into the room that we did the lamp mantle, you can actually just shoot your Snaphook onto this security camera here, hold spacebar, get into this corner as well. Now, if you are getting chased, you can also do the descend over here. So you can grab your Snaphook, you can just jump out, shoot your Snaphook up, right click to break it. Now, you should probably break it a little bit lower so you can hit the dodge roll, but that is another way that you'd be able to get away, especially if you're getting chased through that room. Another pretty cheesy spot, similar to that one bridge spot, is right here, looking out over swamp. You're right in the corner of the floodgates. Now, right where the sentinel spawns, you're actually going to look down to your left, play your Snaphook. You shoot your Snaphook down onto this platform here, hold spacebar. And if you wanted to, you'd be able to look at this entire cross from over to the right. You'd also be able to see swamp. It's very unlikely that anybody would ever check here, and it's another great escape route. And once you're here, you can move down to the left, and there's even another corner you can tuck into. You can keep walking around the pillar on the side here. You can actually come all the way around here to a spot that nobody would ever find you. This spot looks out over the swamp. Once again, this is right under the floodgates. So our next spot is actually going to be getting up on top of this. So what you're going to want to do is jump on the side of these boxes here. This is directly in the middle of hydroponic. You're going to run and jump up to here. There's a little bit of finesse to actually get on top of this, otherwise your character's going to slide down. You want to make sure you jump towards one of these. So you're going to run, get the mantle right at the top of that, then you're on the roof. Now to get on top of this, it actually requires 2 steps. You're first going to want to shoot it up onto the side platform here. You're going to want to make sure you get the mantle on the top here. Now this part is a little bit harder because you want to make sure you get the edge mantle, so you're going to want to shoot it directly here while holding spacebar there. Just like that, as long as there isn't a Rocketeer up here, this is one of the better Osprey sniping spots. It's extremely hard for somebody to contest you if they're below you. However, if they do get a little bit of distance on you, it might be easier for them to contest you here. Once you're up here, you basically have the entire view of swamp. So if you want to play like Overwatch while your teammates are looting down below, you Get up here with a sniper, call out any team approaching. And just like any of the other ones, you can do the exact same thing. It helps to save your Snaphook charge to get on top of the roof by mantling, just so you have the double charge in the Snaphook to shoot on top of the roof. And you can just run at this, and then you want to brace your fall by hitting the platform. If you can mantle it, hold spacebar. If you can't, that's fine. You just don't want to fall all the way down to the bottom. And on this platform, you can actually shoot your Snaphook up top here onto this vent, hold spacebar. You can mantle up here. Want to hold this, wait for somebody to push out. This is another spot that is pretty contested for people to play below you, but they would never actually look up top here. Now, if somebody were to play on the platform there, we can go down here and check. Very unlikely that anybody would ever actually look up here. And if somebody were to be checking outside, there's never really a reason for them to look upwards because they'd just be giving themselves less visibility. So they'd be jumping up with their camera tilted down anyway. So we're on Buried City right now. We're in the Piazza Roma area. Now, this is one of the maps where it's most important to actually have the Snaphook in your utility bar. There's so many times where you're on a rooftop, especially in this area of the map. You get swarmed by a team, you have to jump off. You can shoot the Snaphook at the top, right click, and then dodge roll at the bottom to brace your fall. It's one of the most useful maps because of the verticality. This also feels like one of those maps where the second you lose stamina, you die every single time. So being comfortable using your Snaphook is super important. So this actually brings me to my next favorite spot on Buried City. Now this is at Hospital. What you're gonna do is you're gonna go to the hospital on the backside by the train entrance. You're gonna look up here, shoot your Snaphook here, and by holding spacebar, you can actually mantle directly into the locker room here. So this is one of the best loot rooms in Hospital. There's a key card room here. And the desk here, this is one of the highest drop rates for Survivor Augment. Let's see if we get it, imagine. But this is one of the best entrances to the building, and then anytime you want to leave, you can just walk out the side. You're going to want to do the Descend Tech again, then right click to brace your fall. So I think another very underutilized part of the Snaphook is being able to double Snaphook. So you can actually get to the top of the Buried City Hospital just by going to the bottom here, looking for the highest point for your Snaphook, shooting it, holding S the entire time, shooting again. There's a little bit of timing because you don't want to be out of range, but holding S definitely helps you get a little bit more height. And if you haven't done this, this is one of the better spots to check for high tier loot. There's Raider backpacks in here. These can drop blueprints like medium gun part blueprint, heavy gun part blueprint, Osprey. So another very useful spot here is at the dune's end. Now this is a spawn. This is just to save time. Anytime you spawn on this roof here, you can actually take your Snaphook out and you can shoot it directly across. This is like the perfect distance to do it. It actually saves so much time. Especially if you're doing a looting path, this is ideal for hitting the zipline up here and then looting the top of Space Travel. So our next spot is going to be here at Space Travel. Now this is a very well-known spot at this point, but Space Travel does require you to breach the top floor. This door that's open over here does require you to breach. Now this is one of the best loot rooms in the map. So if you do end up Snaphooking up in here and this hasn't been breached yet, it's pretty common that there's people looting the other side. Now an easy way to get to them without actually getting caught in a mantle, you can go around the side here and you can catch a mantle here. That is going to require you, though, to mantle directly in somebody's face, so if they hop out of a container and fight you, they're going to turn around and see you in a long animation. So what you can do is you can just jump out the side. You're going to shoot this inside, so you make sure you actually get swung inside. And it's one of the easiest ways to approach this building. And then make sure you have 2 charges. If that plan goes south, you can jump out, shoot it inside, and then do the same Descend Tech. So another very useful rotation is right in the middle at Town Hall. You're going to want to get on this roof. Right in the corner here, you can actually Snaphook onto the top of the overpass, right at the top here. Dodge roll backwards. Don't really have to worry about flying off the top because there's a wall at the front. And you can easily gain high ground if there's another team in front of you. Now this is by no means every single Snaphook location on every single map. And this is from somebody that has 600 hours topside, who's played a decent amount of every map, and my most used Snaphook locations on each map. And like I was saying at the beginning, anytime you're actually traversing this map, having this thing outside your safe block is so useful just because of how much fall damage you actually end up taking when you're playing it. And there's about 1 million areas you could Snaphook on Buried City. I thought I'd just highlight the ones that I use most often. So now we're going to go into Spaceport. So one of the best things to do is actually to crank a slide before you put the Snaphook in your utility bar. This will give you a little bit extra movement, especially if you get shot in the side and you want to buy yourself a little bit extra time. Then you connect it and you do the same dodge roll tech to buy yourself even more time. Just make sure you shoot the Snaphook at the top of a ledge just so you don't get a long mantle animation after all that. So right now we're at the outside of departure. Now this place gets extremely mixy for PvP, especially in solos. Now one of the best escape routes is actually by using some of these pipes. This one that's slanted up. As long as the person you're fighting doesn't have nades, you're trying to rat here and heal before you reapproach somebody. This is one of the better spots here. There's also openings in most of these pipes that you can hit too. And a spot like this gives you just enough time to heal up or catch somebody off guard if they're down below you. If you wanted to get out, you can actually just do a mantle to grab here and then you're safe. So our next spot is actually going to be in departure. If you ever farm sensors or processors or any tech loot, you've probably been here. Now this room down below is one of the better breach rooms. Now you've probably been in here 100 times, maybe even trapped in here in a 1v1. You probably never actually looked up. But this gives you a direct line to the roof, so you can actually just Snaphook onto the edge here, wait till it goes up, hold S, and you get a perfect ascend up top. You don't want to go too high, but just hold down spacebar and you'll get the mantle. Now, this is one of the better escapes in the room. This is a very easy room to get trapped in as it is a one-way. It's also a very good escape route, so if you are on the roof, you can use your Snaphook to drop back down. So you're just going to walk through, shoot it up, then let go at the bottom. So another really useful spot is here over at Arrival. And if you go to the front facing the northwest, you can actually pull out your Snaphook, shoot your Snaphook directly up here. And instead of having to breach this room, you can just Snaphook into it. You can also do this from the side here and with any bit of this building here. And once you're in Arrival, if you ever pinch in here, you can actually just shoot your Snaphook up to the roof. Immediately have an escape route. You good? You okay?
Don't shoot.
Holy macro. You just actually macroed your durable. Now, I don't really play Bluegate often, but there's a bunch of escape routes because of how vertical the map is and underground the map is. So if you come to a spot like Head House, you can actually just jump off, use your Snaphook, shoot it at the top. You're probably going to want to do two here, but you can land on this ledge here, shoot down again, drop off. You take a little bit of fall damage, but definitely not lethal fall damage. And if you guys play 007, the intro, like the damn bungee, is one of the most iconic scenes ever. Anytime you do a descent with the Snaphook in this game, it is very reminiscent. And like I've been saying, this video is more just to inspire you to look up a little bit more on whatever map you're playing, and then use your Snaphook for an escape plan. Once you're in the traffic tunnels on Bluegate, you can actually just look up any of these little lamps or posts here. You can shoot your Snaphook up to. Just hold spacebar so you actually get the mantle. Now, if there was ever a scenario where you're getting chased, there is a 0% chance somebody looks up here. And if your team is waiting for you or baiting for you, you have a huge opportunity to do damage. You just want to be careful when you're actually jumping down. You can just find a spot like this and then do a ledge cancel. Now, directly across, we're actually on the northwest side. So if you look up and you find turbines like this, it's probably better to use one of the darker areas if you are trying to get an escape plan. Pull your Snaphook, shoot your Snaphook right at the top of this. Holding spacebar to mantle, you can get on top of one of these. This is one of the better hiding spots, especially if your team is getting ratted downstairs and you're looking for a place to reset. And then once again, you're going to be looking for a ledge cancel. And by doing this, you can just hold spacebar. You don't actually need to time this. Hold spacebar all the way down and you can brace your fall. And I actually ended up showing the Snaphook guide early to a couple fans here, and this is what they had to say. I think
Reave has the best Snaphook guide.
So the next map we're going to do is Stella Montis. Now, this map, there is so many different areas you can use Snaphook. Starting right up here at this spawn, Snaphook up onto this banister here, hold your mantle. You can actually use this entire walkway here. There's actually a chest at the back here. You can loot this here. Now, this is pretty useful if you're running out of ammo, if you're doing a free kit. Now, from here to drop down, walk over to this ledge, pipe here. You can either dodge roll into the wall or just walk along it. You can use this all around the side. Actually just Snaphook onto this tube here. There's always a backpack. And like I said, it's always better to shoot the Snaphook at the top of the window instead of at the bottom. So instead of shooting at the bottom to get a mantle here, you're just going to shoot at the top. So then you just fly directly into the room. Now, another one of my favorite spots is here at assembly, right by the assembly hatch. So what you're going to do is you're going to walk up, shoot your Snaphook halfway up this wall, dodge roll backwards. Now, holding S to swing yourself around, you actually just hand deliver yourself basically to the hatch like that. Now, headed towards lobby, you can actually do a little bit of a jump spot here, jump on this yellow thing, jump here. You can get it yourself onto this ledge easily. Now, if there's ever a time you were getting chased through here, that guy almost was on prompt. Getting chased through here, you can just run outside, shoot your Snaphook up into the top. It's another spot right here. And almost all of these are kind of tests to see if there's a cheater in the lobby. If anybody ever checks a spot like that, especially if they didn't have audio of the Snaphook, it's almost guaranteed. Now, in the same corner, there's another spot. If you walk to the back here, take out your Snaphook, shoot it at the top here. While holding space, you can crouch right here. And this isn't really a spot you can chow from because you're kind of blocked by vision, but you can crouch here. And get down, you just drop down and then do a dodge roll. The things that I'm finding in these lobbies while working on this video is crazy. And I think it's worth mentioning while I'm here, you can actually do this jump spot without getting the mantle. You just have to run on the right side of the desk and then jump at the end. And while you're here, if you need to do a quick rotation, just jump out the window, shoot it at the top, hold spacebar, and you get the quick mantle. There's also a pretty fun jump spot you can hit here, especially if this isn't breached yet. Jump onto the sill here, jump out. You want to mantle this lamp. Now, once you're on here, you can just jump down here, and then you can mantle this ledge, get into the second floor. So that concludes the Snaphook guide for ARC Raiders. If you guys enjoyed this type of content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what other guides you guys are interested in. And then once again, guys, thank you so much for the support on the videos recently. Peace.